Hey friends, welcome to this yoga session. My name is Jenny and I'm very excited to guide you today through a sequence that focuses on the hips. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel to not miss any of the following videos, and please do leave me comments and let me know which topics you're most interested in. If you want to dive deeper into the yoga practice, make sure you also check out my yoga online courses. I will link them below in the description. So as mentioned, today we focus on the hips, an area that often holds a lot of tension, especially if we sit all day, or also when you're very active in sports. If you're a runner, if you cycle, this is just an area that often holds a lot of tension afterwards. So let's meet on the mat and get started. It could be helpful if you have 2 yoga blocks at home. If you don't have them, it's totally fine. You could use books, but even if you don't have anything to support you, it will be totally fine. I'll show you how to do it without these props. So take a moment to find a comfortable upright seat, maybe cross your legs, and just find a position in which you can stay comfortably for a moment. We begin by closing the eyes if you're comfortable, or just rest the gaze very softly. Just want to take a moment to tune into the present moment. Fully arrive on our yoga mats now. Take a moment to scan through the body. Just notice how it feels today without changing anything or without judging what you feel. Just notice what is there. Allow your breath to flow freely and naturally, softly in and out through the nose. Just feel a sense of calmness spreading in the body, in your mind. And then take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and gently sigh it out. Again, deep inhale. Full exhale. Last one. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. And gently open your eyes. We begin by taking a hold of our right foot and knee. We're going to move right into the hip joint. So we begin circling the hip joint with the help of our hands. Now you want to focus on the movement in the hip joint. So you're not circling your knee, but you're really moving the knee away from you, bringing it close to the body and sending it forward. So you're really circling in the hip joint. Now the second foot can be in a place that is comfortable for you, that supports an upright seat, but don't strain too much. Really for a moment, focus on that movement in the hip joint. We first want to wake up the joint, lubricate it, create some warmth. So see how big those movements can be, or if they're rather a bit smaller in the beginning of the practice. Very good. Let's circle the other way around. Very good. And again, feel free to go a bit slower or a bit faster. You can use these moments to really intuitively connect with the body and see what feels right today. Could be different from another day. Just stay with your intuition, and then bring the lower leg further up, maybe parallel to the floor. Bring the foot a bit closer. You want to feel a nice opening sensation in your right hip, in your bum almost. So we move the leg a bit from side to side. If you have a lot of space, you could place that foot into the inside of your elbow and grab a hold of the lower leg. This is just an option, but see if you can lift your heart a little bit. Again, you can stay here or further down. You want to feel this movement in the hip. Do this for a couple of times, and we're still just in the beginning, bringing some movement into this area that might be a bit tight today, so just take it easy. Very good. These are small exercises, but they're actually very efficient, very effective if you keep repeating them. Now, from here, we extend the left leg out and we bring the ankle of the right foot on top of the left knee. I will move a bit to the side so you can see everything. And then from here, in this half butterfly, we gently bounce the knee up and down. And you could use your hand to do this. Don't use a lot of force, but rather just soft movement here, soft bounces. Again, waking up that joint. Very good. Couple more times. And just very attentively observe where you feel sensation in the body. Okay. Release. You can use the hands to help yourself. We're changing the sides, grabbing a hold of the left knee, again beginning with the circles, and feel free to place the right foot in a way that supports your seat. And again, big circles here or a bit smaller, see what works for you. And again, focus on the movement in the hip joint. You can even close the eyes for a moment and just explore a little bit, because maybe this is even something that you haven't done before or not very often. So see what the hip joint can do. It has a really big range of motion. Okay, change the sides. Very good. Nice, warming, circulating movement. Okay. Bring the foot higher up, lower leg as parallel to the floor as you can. Pull the foot a bit closer, just as much as you can. Your knee should feel comfortable. Stretch in the outer hip. And we move a bit from side to side. Again, there's different variation. See which expression works for you today. Softly move it from side to side. I've heard people call this pose rock the baby. Maybe you know why. So let's just do this a couple more times. Very good. Moving into the next pose, extending the right leg out for the half butterfly. Place the foot on top of the knee. Again, I'm just going to move to the side. We're bouncing the knee up and down very softly. Focus on the movement in the hip joint. And remember to breathe at all times. Very good. Not a lot of force here in the hand. Just some soft support for the bouncing. All right, from here, you keep the left leg bended and bend in the right leg as well. We bring the soles of the feet to touch. Now for the full butterfly, bring the heels a bit closer, wrap your fingers around your feet, and then bounce the knees up and down. And this could be a very small movement, or if you're comfortable, it can be a bit bigger. See if maybe you can lengthen the spine anyway. Very good. A couple more times. And then release. You can always use the hands to help yourself. Bring the knees together, bring them to one side. We're coming onto all fours, so the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips for quadruped. And for a couple of rounds, we move through the cat-cow stretches. So you round the back on the exhale, take the navel in, push the shoulder blades apart, and inhale, drop the navel, send the heart forward, warming up the full length of the spine, even the neck. And exhale, round again. Really make sure you take the pelvis along and the neck. And inhale, send the heart forward. Very good. Couple more rounds. Okay. On the next inhale, we again arch the back gently. This time we take the right leg along. Really lift the knee as high as we can. We lift the heart. Exhaling, round the back. Take the knee and the nose towards each other. Very good. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the right leg up, look forward. Don't compress your neck, just softly. Exhale, round again. Very good. Inhale, lift up, stretch the front side of the body. Exhale, round, strong core. Very good. Now come back up with the leg, but keep the spine neutral. We move the right hand out of the mat a little bit and come onto the fingertips to give ourselves some more space. And now we make big hip circles with that right knee. You keep going on that side. I will show the other side just for a second so you know what I'm doing. So you draw big circles into the air with your right knee. And again, explore what your hip joint can do. Very nice. If you're really wobbling, you could tuck the left toes under. I will go back to the right side. Change the direction as well. Circle the other way around. Very good. Now extend the leg out to the back again. Come onto the fingertips on both hands. Activate the core. Draw the knee forward and step the foot through between your hands. Now maybe walk it even a bit further front and then push the hips forward. You might need some cushioning in your knee. You could use a blanket or flip the mat double so you have a nice cushioning under your knee. Now push the hips forward as much as comfortable so you have a nice length in your left groin, and maybe here it could come in handy if you had some support for your hands. We will move dynamically from here. On the inhale, push the hips back, straighten the right leg, maybe flex the toes if you can. And on the exhale again, push the hips forward and sink deep into that hip. I will put the blocks to the side. If you don't have any, maybe come onto the fingertips. Inhale, send the leg back, the hips back, long right leg, stretch on the back side. Exhale, push the hips forward, stretch in the left groin and thigh. 2 more times. Inhale, straighten the front leg, keep the spine long. Exhale, sit deep into that hip. Inhale, push it back. Last time, we come forward, exhale. Now use your core, we reach the upper body up, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling, alongside the ears, and then make sure you relax the shoulders down. Really pull the fingertips up to the ceiling so you can feel that side body lengthening even more, the front side, but the left side of the groin. You can tuck the back toes or keep them pointed, whatever is more comfortable for your knee. If this is a bit much for you, just come back in your hips. If the stretch on the left side is too much, if you're comfortable, lean into it. Now from here, take the hands behind the body, interlace all 10 fingers, draw the shoulder blades together, lift the hands away from the bum so you can support that opening of the front side. All that side is being stretched open. Breathe deeply. Remember, soft breath, no strain. Last deep breath. Now, from here, sweep the arms up one more time. Bring the hands back down. Maybe with your blocks, if you have them. Take them under your hands. We push the hips back as we did. This time we stay. Now we move into the back side of the right hip. And if you can, flex that right foot. There can be a bend in your knee and lift your heart up. If you have the blocks, you could even stay up here or down here, or you stay on your fingertips depending on your flexibility and how you feel today. Now, if you lift the heart forward, you will intensify the stretch on the right back leg a little bit more. If that's a bit much, bend the knee, release the foot, and release the spine a little. Find that expression that works for you, and then stay for some long and focused breaths. Very nice. Last deep breath. Okay, bend the front leg again. Walk the hands forward, place them under the shoulders. Now use the core, lift the foot, place the knees next to each other. As we started for the second side, maybe stretch one time into a rounded back, cat stretch, little counter pose here. And then arch the back on the inhale, lift the left leg up. We do this a couple of rounds, exhaling, round the back, nose and knee together. Inhale, lift the heart up. Exhaling, round. Very controlled movement. Try to stay in line with the hip. Don't open up to the side. Your knee is always kind of drawing a line. Very good. Now lift the leg again, but neutral back. Maybe come onto the fingertips on the left hand. You can move the hand out of the mat for more space. Start your big hip circles, drawing circles into the air. Very good. Okay, again, explore what your hip joint can do. We change the direction. Very nice. Couple more rounds. And then look forward, come onto the fingertips on both sides for more space. Draw the navel in and the knee forward and step the foot through. Again, maybe walk the foot forward. We want to push the hips forward and we want to make sure the ankle is under the knee. Maybe you want to use your blocks. Inhale, push the hips back, lengthen the spine in the left leg. Exhale, sit deep, bend the left leg, open the right groin. Inhale, come back. Exhale, lower down, right groin opens. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Protect your right knee if you need any cushioning. Flip the mat or use the blanket. We reach the upper body up. Sweep the arms up and arrive in the pose. Maybe you can sink a bit deeper, but no, you always have the option to come back. Long neck, relaxed face. Pulling the fingertips up to the ceiling, creating even more length in that right groin. And then bring the hands behind the body. Interlace the fingers maybe 1 finger further than you did before. Draw the shoulder blades together. Lift the heart up. Breathe into that space in the front body. Very nice. Last breath here. And then reach your arms up 1 more time. Bring them back down to the floor. And bring the knees next to each other. For a moment, send the hips back for a child's pose. Release the forehead down. Push the hips back towards the heels. And walk the hands all the way forward, long arms. Come onto your knees and your hands. Now you have a longer distance between the knees and the hands. Tuck the toes under, push the hips back 1 time, and then up into your downward facing dog. Take a moment to walk it off. So really generously bend the knees. Push the heels alternately down to the floor. Can bend the knees and bring them to the right side once, to the left side, so you can create some movement in the hip joints and the lower back. Maybe relax your head a bit. Shake it yes and no. And then move your hands together on the mat, so close that the tips of your thumbs touch. We'll make 2 big steps or many small steps as you wish to arrive on the outside of our hands with the feet. Moving the toes out a little bit so we can lower the hips between the heels for our Malasana yogic squats. So see how you can arrange your feet, open them a bit wider. If your heels don't touch the floor, they can hover, that's totally fine. Or maybe you want to place your blocks or rolled blanket underneath. Wherever you arrive, try to find your expression. You want to feel a sensation now on the inside of your legs, in the groins. We try to lift the heart and drop the bottom down so the spine stays long. You can very softly work with your knees towards your elbows, but just as much as is comfortable. You want to feel sensation in the groins, but not in the knees. So let's keep breathing here for a couple of rounds. Very good. Long and smooth breaths. Maybe for your last one, take a deep inhale through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. And then release the hands, bring the fingertips behind you, slowly sit down in a gentle manner. Bring the soles of your feet to touch like we did in the beginning of the practice. Pull them close to you. Wrap your fingers around them, but this time keep the knees still. Lift your heart up for bound angle pose. We push the chest forward. We move again into the groin. See how far you can go without rounding the back. We really want to stay long in the spine. That often means we only come forward for a little bit. But that's totally fine. You just want to feel that sensation in the groins and then rest the eyes on your one focus point or gently close them and breathe into the areas where you feel sensation. Very good. Last deep breath here. And then slowly reach the upper body back up. Keep the soles of the feet together, but move the feet away from you. So you really have more distance between your hips and your feet, and you can even open the soles of the feet slightly as if you were opening a book. Make sure you're sitting on your seat bones. You could move your flesh out to the back a little bit. We will fold forward. This time our back can round. If this is too much for your hips, you could place your props underneath your thighs or your knees. We move forward into a forward fold, and this time we're rounding the back. So this means you don't want to add any pressure onto your back, you just want to release. So keep your palms facing the sky in a receiving kind of gesture. So you don't pull anywhere, you don't try to reach anywhere, you drop your head forward. If that's not comfortable for your neck, support it with your blocks or with your hands. This is a nice opportunity to move a little bit deeper into the hips. And for that, we only want to use gravity and this kind of sensation of letting go rather than any force or pressure. Allow the exhales to become a little bit longer. See how that maybe opens up some space in the body, releases some tension. And then again, take a last deep inhale through the nose. And gently sigh it out. And then push your hands into the floor. Help yourself to lift up the upper body. Maybe help yourself with the hands to bring the knees together. Place the feet hip distance apart onto the mat. Lean onto your hands. Drop the knees softly from side to side so you can bring some softness into those hip joints. We've been kind of moving into them, into the deep connecting tissue. So let's give them a moment to rebalance. Very good. And then stay the way you are. Keep the feet placed on the mat. See that you're about in the center of the mat. Extend your arms forward or use them to help yourself to lay down onto the mat in a very, very gentle manner. Vertebrae by vertebrae, lay down. Very nice. Okay. Bring the feet closer. Bend the right leg in and then move it out. Bring the ankle on top of the left knee. One more time, we're moving into the outer hip. So you grab a hold of the back of your left thigh or the shin, wherever you reach, and you pull it so close that you have a nice stretch in your right outer hip. Very nice. Couple of breaths. Your shoulders should be relaxed, your neck, your face. Feel free to close the eyes. Want to feel a nice stretching sensation in your right outer hip, your right bum, and you keep breathing. Lower back is firmly pressing into the mat. And then release the left foot down, place the right foot next to it, changing the sides, bend the left knee in, move it out, bring the ankle on top of the right knee, maybe flex the foot, and then bring the right leg in, grab a hold of the back of your thigh or the shin, the knee, wherever you arrive, so your shoulders can be relaxed, but you have that nice sensation in your left outer hip. Relax the neck and the face, maybe release the jaw, and just take a couple of breaths here. And then again, release by sending the right foot down, next to it the left foot, and then bring both knees in, hug the lower legs, roll a bit from side to side on the lower back, grab a hold of the knees, maybe make some big circles, but very, very slowly and softly. This is just one last moment to release any leftover tension in those hips and the groins, the lower back, the belly, the other way around as well. See if there's any other movement that maybe you need to feel balanced after this practice. And then whenever you are ready, stretch out on your mat. You should allow yourself for a couple of moments of relaxation. Give some space to your arms and your legs, to your groins. And just take a moment to rest in Shavasana. Feel free to pause the video if you want some more rest for today. Or at least take 5 conscious breaths before moving back into your day. When you're ready, slowly come back into a seated position and just take a moment to honor the present, to honor yourself. Thank yourself for taking the time for your practice. And I want to thank you too for joining me for this session today. I hope you feel wonderfully refreshed and relaxed, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.